I'm a dad, and I got dad bod. And I'm on my journey to get a six-pack because I want to set a good example for my son, and I realized it's actually more difficult to have a six-pack when you're a parent than when you're a single person. It's the end of week 2 of this 10-week challenge, and I weighed in at on the dot. And I felt amazing about this week. I stuck to my calories, I stuck to my fitness, and I stuck to hanging out with my family. The only difficult thing I had this week was not falling into temptations. This week I had a lot of family time, which family time usually means a lot of good food. But this time around, that didn't happen. I held my ground and I stayed disciplined. So let's get right into it. We're gonna talk about what I ate this week, what I did for my workouts, my successes, my failures, and how I'm gonna navigate week 3 coming up. Honestly, this week was much better than last week because there wasn't Thanksgiving. I didn't have to deal with a day that I knew that I was gonna be eating a surplus of caloric calories. Now, sticking to eating healthy is always difficult when I hang out with family. But this time around, it was super easy because I've introduced myself to easy solutions. When I wanted to snack on a lot of bad food, I just had a bunch of frozen fruit. And I would have never had frozen fruit if I hadn't been making more smoothies. And honestly, when my brother came over, it felt good hearing some positive reinforcement when I pulled out having frozen fruit as a snack instead of pulling out ice cream or something. Heck, he even had frozen fruit with me. And it just goes to show that whenever you tell your family your goals and what you want to achieve, and you show them that you're disciplined and that you're sticking to it, they'll support you whenever you need the support. Now, my workouts this week were the best they've ever been. And honestly, it's because I've gotten in the routine of making sure I work out every day and just take a rest day every other day. And the fact that I've stayed this disciplined means that whenever my son wanted to interact with me when working out, I was able to do it. I mean, one of the days that I worked out this week, I told myself that, man, I probably won't be able to do it today. I don't know when I'm gonna find the time. My wife's in work today, and then when she gets off work, I have to work. And it's so cold outside, I'm not gonna be able to run my son around to get out energy. And I'm still finishing the basement downstairs. I had all of these excuses. So whenever I have excuses, I take action now. So I got down in the living room and just started working out. I didn't have a workout video on. I didn't do a bully juice this week. I just started doing a workout. And my son enjoyed it. He was running in between my legs. But the cutest thing that happened was when he came over to me and he gave me one of his trucks. And I was doing sit-ups. So what else are you gonna do? I took the truck and I made it look like it was going off my ramp. As in my ramp, I mean my leg. And the workout ended very well. And speaking of success, when I was hanging out with my family, just in general, even when my mother-in-law came in and brought in food and there was cornbread, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, all of this yummy food that was high in calories, I prepared myself for it. Because once I found out a family member was coming into the house, I knew that during the beginning of the day, I needed to eat less calories so that when they came over, I'd have that extra caloric intake to be able to consume food. And that's one of the biggest things I feel like I was missing out on before in the beginning of these challenges I've been doing to get a six-pack. I had just been like, oh, I'll eat my normal calories throughout the day, and then when people come over, I'll suppress how much I'm gonna eat. But I realized that's a bad thing. I don't need to suppress myself. I just need to make sure that I'm paying attention to how much I'm intaking throughout the day because I know I'm gonna eat a surplus at the end of the day. There's no point in starving yourself from goodies when you know you can hold out earlier in the day and probably eat something with lower calories and still is very fulfilling, like fruits and veggies. So the week was a success, but let's dive into the actual details of the success. Because yes, I can say I did this, I did that, but without giving you proof, how are you gonna know I'm telling the truth? Damn, I'm a rapper. Okay, no, maybe I'm a poet and you just didn't know it. So with that being said, let's look at the breakdown of my workouts and my meals this week. Woo! All right. Let's talk about these workouts real quick. So first of all, let's see how many days I worked out. We're going Monday to Sundays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I worked out 5 days this week out of the 7, and that's a successful ratio. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Now, during the week, I worked out with my son each time, honestly. And each time came with a different challenge. Like on Monday here. On Monday, I did a lot of dumbbell work, and that's honestly because I was down here with my son while he was in the little play area or in the little gym area. And I just wanted to make sure I had something that I could easily move around and stay next to him while lifting a little bit of weights. The coolest part about it was when I was doing the rings part of this workout, which let's go check out the rings real quick. Now, when I was using these rings, my son was absolutely adorable. First of all, he was like, Daddy, pick me up. Daddy, play with me. He was just under me, wanting me to interact. But I would finish my set and then I would interact with him. And one of the times when I interacted, he just started dancing around with me, and it was awesome because it showed me that he was just like, hey, show me a little attention and you can get right back to it. And then right after I finished that workout, he just started playing with the rings. Honestly, I think he's learning from what I'm doing, and I'm setting a good example and the exact example I want to set. I want him to see that being fit's important. So after I had that workout on Monday, Wednesday's workout was rings as well. As you can see here, I did some ring rows, ring push-ups, reverse flies, and some dumbbell straight leg deadlifts. And my son was perfectly fine with it again. And he played with the rings right after I finished playing with them. I guess working out is playing for adults. Now on Thursdays is the day where my son came over to me and I was upstairs and we were playing with the truck a little bit. But the cutest part about it, so I did sit-ups, did ab crunches, but when I was doing these lateral lunges, every time I was at the top of the rep, my son decided to run through my legs. And I wish I had got it on footage, but it was the most adorable thing ever because he'd run under my legs going, wee, wee, and I'm like, go on under. And so he probably went under my legs 100 times because that's how many reps I did. And that's per leg. That wasn't just each leg was 1, 2, 3. It was 1, 1, 2, 2. So 100 reps of everything that you see in this workout here. Now, when it came to Saturday, I did a running workout, which felt amazing. All right, so it's in the 40s today. Warmed up a little inside. Gonna go for this run, doing a 4-miler. All right, so the goal is to get back home before it gets dark because I'm wearing all black today. So here we go. Oh snap, y'all. Trail is closed. What do I do? Guess we turn around and, I don't know, finish the 4 miles somewhere in the neighborhood. Do what you gotta do. Luckily, the closed trail was only point like 0.3 away from the 2-mile mark. So, watch this cool thing I can do with my editing program now. I'm looking at y'all, but I'm not. I was wearing all black that day. And when you're wearing all black and running on a trail, I kind of look like a burglar. And I scared one of my neighbors on the trail. I was running, and usually when I'm running behind someone on a trail and I'm gonna pass them, I'll be huffing and puffing. I'll be like, sometimes I'll say I'm on my left, but most of the time I'm just huffing and puffing and then they hear me. Well, she didn't hear me. She had headphones in because most people have headphones in. And as I passed her, she freaked out and she was like, whoa, you scared me. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she saw it was me. And then we started joking how I looked like a robber because I had black gloves on, black shoes, black pants, black hoodie. But the coolest part about it was I got to see my neighbor out on the trail, and there were a lot of people out on the trail. And I got to say hi to a lot of people, which it's refreshing to be out on the trail and see a lot of people, especially when it's a beautiful day out in Wisconsin. The sun's out, the air is nice and crisp, and there's a little bit of a breeze. Now, the last day of the week, I worked out outside in my driveway. My workout first started out with me jumping rope. That's all I wanted to do. And I only got that inspiration because of a comment on my last video by AJC was saying that jump roping is good for weight loss too. Now, yes, I understand it is, but at the same time, it reminded me that I love jumping rope. And I was doing it all summer long until I started giving up on working out. And when I went to jump rope outside on Sunday, it felt amazing. The 20 minutes just felt like a lot of fun. I put on a little bit of classical music, I had my trunk open in my car, and I was just skipping the rope outside. And what made it even more fun was one of my neighbors across the road saw me doing it and was just shadow jump roping while I was doing it for a little bit. And yes, of course, he was trying to be funny probably, but no matter what, it was a fun interaction. And then one of my other neighbors, Dave from across the road, came walking over while I was doing the second half of the workout. And the second half of the workout here was I did some hammer curls, I did some dumbbell thrusters, but I also did a lot of body weight step-ups. Now these body weight step-ups were just me. I was like, hey, let's just do 100 each leg to finish off this workout and call it a day. And while I was doing it and my neighbor Dave walked over, I had a realizing conversation with him. He's in his mid 70s, maybe 80s, and we started talking about the solar system. We started talking about galaxies, and we also started to delve into the topics of AI. And he's an engineer, and we'd always have interesting conversations. This was probably the most fun conversation. And it just goes to show that when you work out outside and you get out of your element of just being in a gym or being inside your home, you get to have conversations with people you normally wouldn't have. So working out this week was a big success, and I'm very happy with it. But now let's talk about the food, because just because I worked out 5 times this week doesn't mean that I was able to eat whatever I wanted, because I'm trying to lose weight. And just working out is probably maybe 15, 20%, maybe even 10% of what it takes to lose weight. So let's dive into what I ate this week. So this week, as you can see from my food chart, I was below my caloric deficit every single day, except for on Sunday, which is when my brother came over. But look at how much I went over, by 183. That is it. And with the combined of all the week, that does not put me to gain a pound of weight at all. Now, we can dive into each one of these days and see exactly what I ate, but I'd rather just tell you what I ate. So this week, I ate most of the normal foods I normally eat, but I had different snacks. Now, yes, I had my amazing brats because, oh man, I love brats. And when you get a nice brat that's straight off the grill, which I guess it's not straight off the grill since it's in my fridge and I'm reheating it, but these aren't just regular brats. These are brats from the deli, and these are cheddar brats. And they're beer cheddar brats, so they have a good flavor to them, but they have a juicy cheese that comes out of them. Now, yes, just the link itself is about 400 calories, but if I eat that with a bun and some ketchup and mustard, and it equals about maybe 600 calories, that's a solid meal. And when you're a parent and you have a little toddler running around, one of the most important things is to be able to get a quick meal in. Now, other than brats, one of my other favorite things I ate this week was, of course, smoothies. Now, in my smoothies, all I do is I put a fruit blend in it, which usually consists of peaches, mangoes, and strawberries, and sometimes a little bit of pineapple. And then I also add in some Greek yogurt, which this time I think I have strawberry Greek yogurt. And then I add in a little bit of honey and some peanut butter. And this is just the raw peanut butter. This is just peanuts, roasted peanuts, and you have to churn that thing and then put it in the fridge or it's going to be separated from the oil all the time. And whenever I make a smoothie, it's around 400 calories, and they're the most delicious meal that I could have. Now, I think next week I'm going to buy some protein powder, thinking about some Gold Standard whey isolate, just the basic stuff, so that when I do make a smoothie, it does have more protein in it, and I am getting more nutrients. Now, on top of smoothies, we had our taco bowls this week, which I absolutely love, but we always have a bunch of lettuce, we have rice, we have sour cream, fajita veggies, pinto beans, and some ground beef. I think that was everything. Oh, avocado as well. Oh, and tomato. Can't forget about the tomato. But when I eat a taco bowl, I'm just reminded that don't waste your money at Chipotle when you can make it at home even better. What else did I eat this week? Oh yeah, when my mother-in-law came over, she brought over some fried chicken strips, breaded, delicious. We had some cornbread with it. We had some mac and cheese. We had some mashed potatoes. And you know what? I ate all of this and didn't even go over my calories for the day because I prepared for it. And I'd say that's the biggest win for my meals this week, was preparing for what I was going to eat throughout the day, especially when I wanted to have a snack late at night. I've actually switched to eating my frozen fruits. Frozen fruits are an amazing go-to. Hell, I can have a whole bowl of fruit and it maybe equals 80 calories and I'm getting a bunch of vitamins in. Now, don't quote me on how many vitamins are in fruit or anything like that, but all I know is that fruit is good for you and frozen fruit tastes delicious and it feels like you're having a dessert. So if you struggle with snacking, highly suggest getting some frozen fruit because it's the best thing to snack on. So today's December 8th, weighing myself in. Been doing amazing, ran yesterday. Today I'm gonna be doing some jump roping for my workout. Should I take the socks off? I should take the socks off. But yeah, I've been doing good. Take off the glasses and let's get this weigh-in. And I weigh 211. Exactly on the dot, which means I lost weight, y'all. I'm excited. Actually, let's do my waist real quick. All right, so we're gonna do the waist here. So when we first did the waist, I believe it was like 41.75 or something. Now we're at, hot damn, we're at 40. We are at 40 on the waist. I know it, I don't know if I'm supposed to have that little bit of a pinch there, but we're at 40, sons. Let's see what I weigh with clothing on. Wow, 212.4. Today wraps up week 2. Let's get back to the rest of the video. Now, looking back at these past 2 weeks and even last week in general, I've realized that other than discipline, you have to have belief to be able to achieve a goal like this. Like, I really want to have this 6-pack. And I've had a 6-pack in the past, but I'll see comments on the channel and on other people's videos that says you need to be on steroids, you need to be doing drugs to have a 6-pack, blah, 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 blah. I feel like it's something that's just happening in culture right now where a lot of youngins are doing drugs and just looking jacked. Well, they can do whatever they want. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But it is fully possible to get a 6-pack without having to take any drugs, y'all. But if you only believe you can only get a 6-pack with drugs, then you're probably gonna only get it if you have drugs. So if you're on a weight loss journey and you feel like you're not gonna be able to get the weight that you want in the time frame that you want, I need you to shut that down right now. Because my biggest tip of advice to anyone that's trying to achieve a goal is that you need to believe in yourself first. If you don't believe in yourself, who else is gonna believe in you? Heck, If you don't believe you're going to be able to lose weight, then how are you going to be able to do it? If the greatest athletes didn't think that they were going to win a game, then how would they win a game? It all comes down to mindset. And that applies to everything in life, not just losing weight. That applies to being successful. That applies to being an amazing parent, an amazing partner. And speaking of a great partner, if you're struggling to juggle family life and working out and your own personal goals, just like I've been struggling, just take a breather, just refocus, remind yourself what's important. Because if you don't remind yourself what's important, you're not going to be doing the important things. You might just end up scrolling online, seeing other people's lives that are amazing, and not focusing on doing the things you need to do. When I started my journey of wanting to get a six-pack, I was watching a bunch of videos on, okay, do workouts like this, do hypertrophy, make sure you're doing core like this, make sure you're eating this way. And it was all good to learn, but I found myself just scrolling and trying to find more information and seeing if there was a cheat code to get it done. But these past 2 weeks that I've been honed in, I've been seeing the most success. And it's because all I think about is what I need to do for me. So instead of scrolling and seeing someone's top 10 tips for how to eat properly and get a six-pack in X amount of time, I've decided to be like, okay, what are the top 10 things that I can do and actually do them and see if I get this six-pack. It's about taking the action instead of scrolling. So if you're struggling to achieve your goals or you're just juggling life in general, realize you need to lock in. Now, as this journey continues, I just wanted to say I truly appreciate all your comments. I mean, this last one about jump roping truly inspired me to go jump rope again. So if you guys have any tips, any tricks, I promise I will implement whatever you say. Now, next week, I got a good feeling I'm going to lose a lot of weight because I'm actually going to reduce my caloric intake. It needs to go down. I feel like I'm already eating too much food. I don't need to eat as much as I am right now, even with the amount of working out I am doing. Sometimes at night, I go to bed with a full stomach and I'm like, I'm a little too full and I actually want to feel less full. And I know that might sound strange to some people, but hey, everybody works towards their challenges in different ways. And speaking of challenges, if you're a person that's looking to push themselves and become the best version of themselves, subscribe to the channel because that's all we do here. My brother's out here becoming rich by 30, and I'm over here with my goal to get a six-pack, which will then be running a marathon, which will then be having the most positive mind ever, which will then be doing something else. No matter what, we're here to crush challenges and become the best versions of ourselves. So subscribe to the channel if that sounds like something you want to do, I guess. And before you click out of this video, I just want you to remember one thing. Believe in yourself and stay disciplined, and you're able to achieve whatever you desire. Just like I've been really wanting some Joyride candy, and guess what? I stopped by Target, picked some up for my boy Ryan Trahan, who's out here trying to be the #1 candy in Target. He believes it, and he's putting in the work every single day. So I bought a thing of candy, which I usually do every time I go to Target, but let's eat a piece. Oh yeah. Oh man, that shit good. I get to eat 8 of these, and it's only 50 calories. I'm gonna mob this right now. That's too many to put in my mouth. I got 6.